would be alright if the wind was in our sails, and it would be alright if the wind was in our sails, and it would be alright if the wind was in our sails, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, it would be alright if we make it round the horn, and it would be alright if we make it round the horn, and it would be alright if we make it round the horn, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, a night on the town wouldn't do us any harm, and a night on the town wouldn't do us any harm, and a night on the town wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, a strong cup of joe wouldn't do us any harm, and a strong cup of joe wouldn't do us any harm, and a strong cup of joe wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind. Hear it, and we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, it would be alright if you sang some harmony, and it would be alright if you sang some harmony, and it would be alright if you sang some harmony, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Or should I say, arr! All right, have a seat. Oh, this is going to be good. So I don't have a handout. I'm being all, digital and environmentally friendly and all that stuff. Because we need the trees to make masts for our ships. So all the songs and the notes and some other goodies I'm probably not even going to get to this morning are on this link here, bit.ly/2022W. You can take a picture of that or copy that down, and all the goodies will be in there. I'll put this back up too at the end of the session, so if
it will get uploaded in the guidebook as well.
And it'll be in the guidebook as well, so yeah, no worries there. Wow, this is going to be good. I do a lot of sea shanties in my classes. It's not because I'm from Wyoming. There are, let's see if this thing will work here. Where's my cursor? There we go. There are 5 big reasons that I love using sea shanties for elementary kids. Sea shanties are really hot right now because, about a year and a half ago, this song called The Wellerman just exploded on the internet. And that really piqued people's interest, and kids like these. We're not going to do The Wellerman today. I have kids ask me, can we sing The Wellerman? Well, no, because you can get on the internet and sing The Wellerman. You don't need me to teach you that. But I'll teach you some other ones that are just as cool. Can you guys hear me okay without the microphone?
Yeah.
I'm good at yelling, so Robin has the, is Robin here?
Yeah.
She's got the Don't Make Me Use My Opera Voice shirt. I told her I need one with my kids that says Don't Make Me Use My Chest Voice. Same idea. Anyway, first thing and probably most important thing about sea shanties, kids love these songs. Most of what we're doing today is geared toward upper elementary, maybe middle school, but you can adapt this pretty easily to younger kids as well. And, okay, Amy, here's one of my soapboxes. Boys love these songs. Those of you that have known me for a long time know I kind of get on this soapbox that we really, really, really need boys involved in music. And of course we're scared to say that because what are you saying, we don't need girls? Yes, of course we need girls in music too, but it's easier in our society with girls, right? Getting boys to sing is really hard because for some reason boys think that singing isn't something that men do. So those of you of the male persuasion that are elementary music teachers, good on you. We need more men at this level. Ladies, you're wonderful too. But what I find is that the boys are kind of like the center circle of your target. If you hit them, you're probably hitting your girls as well, because the girls are easier in music most of the time. I'm talking in generalities. Another thing that's really important is adults love these things. Those of you that are young teachers or student teachers or college students, please listen very carefully to what I'm about to say. If you are going to make it long-term in this career, it is absolutely essential that you find songs that are not only engaging to the kids, but that are engaging to you. Because a bored teacher is a boring teacher. And if you are bored with the stuff you're teaching your kids, you're not going to be an effective teacher. These songs, I love singing these songs just as much as my kids do. Also, if you ever do concerts, parents will really appreciate songs that they find interesting, as well as the kids. So that's pretty important. These songs really lend themselves well to elemental music skills. Most of them have steady duple beats. Occasionally you'll find a Foxel Shanty that'll be in 3/4. Most of them have good strong duple beats, so they really lend themselves to teaching things like ostinatos and steady beat, things like that. Kind of in that sneaky way of teaching the kids without them realize. I love that Amy kept coming back to that today. Teaching the kids without them realizing that they're learning stuff. They're just having fun. And then, oh wow, I can do a steady beat, awesome. Most of them are harmonically pretty simple, so they really lend themselves to things like orff instrument accompaniments, recorder accompaniments, things like that. A lot of them have call and response, very repetitive structures to them. So the way I just taught you guys Roll the Old Chariot is exactly the way I teach it to my students. I stand up and sing, and by the end of the first chorus, they're singing with me. That's the beauty of sea shanties. They're really great for that kind of thing. These songs are truly multicultural. You know, we live in an era where cultural appropriation is something everybody's worried about, and to some degree rightly so. I think sometimes it goes too far where we're afraid to do anything. But it's not an issue with sea shanties. My understanding from my reading, back in the 1800s when these songs really were developed as an art form, the ships were a true melting pot. Nobody really cared what color you were or what language you spoke. As long as you could haul on a rope, you were part of the crew, which is kind of how life should be, isn't it? And these songs reflect that. You'll hear African influences, you'll hear African American influences, British folk songs, even in some of them you can hear a little bit of Native American influence, I think, in some of these. So very multicultural, they really belong to everybody. And they're also a really good jumping off point to study other American styles of music because they kind of glom it all together. These songs express real life feelings and real life experiences, even for landlocked Wyomingites, like most of us. Most of these songs, if they're actually about something, they're about overcoming adversity through the use of things like humor and hope and togetherness and teamwork and just good old-fashioned orneriness. And how many of us can't use more songs about those things, right? How many of us can't use more perseverance in our lives? And I think that's part of the reason that kids and adults both love these songs too, because even if you, like me, have never been on a sailboat yet, there's something about these songs that touches the heart. That song, The Weller Man, that's so popular, that's really what it's about. It's, yeah, things are kind of cruddy right now, but things are going to get better. That's a great message. And then a bonus reason to love these songs, they're all in the public domain. So you don't need anybody's permission to perform these songs, to record these songs, to take them and mess with them and change them around and do whatever the heck you want with them, because they belong to all of us, because they've been around so long. Now, I'm going to do a little intro to sea shanties here, and I want to make the following disclaimer. I am from Wyoming, so a lot of what I'm about to share with you is gross oversimplification. So if we have any sea shanty aficionados in here, and I, leave out your favorite nuance, give me a break. I'm from Wyoming. But it's important to know a few things about these. First of all, basic types of shanties. There's really two big categories of shanties. One is the Foxel Shanty. These were sung in the forecastle or the forecastle of the ship, which is where the sailors hung out when they weren't working. So these are not work songs, they're just for fun songs. And we'll do a Foxel Shanty later if we have time. I don't think we will, but we'll see how it goes. If you've ever heard The Mermaid and the Ocean Waves Do Roll, that's a Foxel Shanty. Rio, the Rio Grande, I don't know, I'm seeing lots of blank looks, so we'll just move on. Mostly what we're going to concentrate on today is the work songs. And there's two main types of these. This is where I'm really oversimplifying. The first is called Capstan Shanties. The capstan is a device on the deck of a ship. It looks like a big wagon wheel with the spoke, or with the, what's the rim? There we go, the rim removed. And you grab a bar and you stomp around in a circle. There's a cable you can just see on the left side there that's attached to really, really heavy things. This is how you haul up the anchor. This is how you, if you need to haul a great big timber on board to put in a new mast because you broke it off in a storm, you use the capstan. The song we just did, Roll the Old Chariot, is a classic capstan shanty, although I've seen it used for other things too. When I teach this to the kids, I get them in a big circle and we all grab our pretend capstan bar and stomp around in a circle, and anything that lets the kids stomp they like. Another one is called a Hollyard Shanty, so we're going to pause for just a bit of nautical terminology here for all us landlocked Wyomingites. Okay, the big tree trunk thing that comes out of the ship is called the mast. Okay, am I being too basic here? I have to tell the kids this, a lot of them don't know. Off the mast there's the big arms, those are called the yard arms, or the yards for short. Attached to those yard arms, there's a whole bunch of ropes, and those are called halyards because they're used, in fact, to haul the yards. Kind of makes sense, right? If you look at that, this is one mast from a clipper ship. Have you ever heard the expression, learning the ropes? Here's where that comes from. One of a sailor's biggest tasks is you had to know what each one of those ropes does, and that took a while to learn. So Hollyard Shanties. We're going to do in just a minute a song called Heave Away, Haul Away. And a lot of these Hollyard Shanties, they're used for hauling the yards, hoisting sails, other shorter jobs. They usually have obvious places to haul and then to rest. It's not like the capstan where it's just ongoing. So we sing, in South Australia I was born, heave away, haul away, in South Australia round Cape Horn, bound for South Australia. Or the classic one that probably a lot of us know is, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises, way hey and up she rises early in the morning. During the verses, you rest your muscles. The song leader tries to sing something that'll make you laugh a little bit, so you'll keep working, and then you keep going. Okay, let's sing that one. Stand up. So we're going to grab way, hey, we're going to grab our imaginary rope, and then on up, we're going to pull. You can even use, okay kids, you can use your yelling voice a little bit on this one if you want to. Okay, so here we go. Way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises early in the morning. Very nice. This is the gifted class, I can tell. Okay, stay standing. We're going to do the whole song here. So we're going to sing What Shall We Do with the Drunken Sailor? And then we're going to sing, well, let's just do that one. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises, way, hey, up she rises early in the morning. Wow, you guys sound like a bunch of music teachers. Okay, have a seat. Good, good, good. Now, let's talk about this song. This is a weird song to do with elementary kids, right? So let's talk about this a little bit. When I was doing my level 2 ORF training with Matt McCoy, a man whom I tremendously respect and admire, he did something with this song and changed the words to it. I can't remember what he did, but he said, of course, some of you probably work with Matt. The way he talks is so wonderful. He says, of course, we can't do Drunken Sailor with our children. Oh, whoops. Because I have been doing it for years.
Yep, years.
But here's how I explain this to my kids. So, and here's why I think this song is probably okay for elementary school. If you feel differently, if you want to sing, you know, What Shall We Do with the Dirty Laundry or whatever, I won't judge you, that's okay. But sailing was dangerous business back in the old days, kind of like maybe construction work or something today. You're up in those masts working, and it's pretty serious. You don't have a safety rope, and you rely on your crewmates. Now, what drinking alcohol does, I know you all know this, but I'm telling this to the kids. What drinking too much alcohol does is it slows your brain down, which is a really nice way of saying it temporarily makes you dumber. And that's why people who drink a lot of alcohol can't drive and tend to make really bad decisions and have really bad relationships and things like that. So if you're up there working, do you want your shipmate that you're relying on to be impaired by alcohol? No. And so even though this is kind of a goofy, funny song, it kind of has a serious message, which is you need to be at your best to be part of the team. And so you better not be drinking booze when you're on duty. That's what I tell the kids. They totally get it. They don't struggle with it. But I think there's kind of a deeper issue here, and it's something Amy really touched on this morning too, which is, I personally believe, again, you might feel differently, I personally believe it's really important, especially with our older kids, to sing about real stuff. I don't think we have to clean up and sanitize everything. When we do our unit in 4th grade of Pioneer songs, do any of you do that? Because our 4th graders are doing Wyoming history and social studies, so we bring in all the old Pioneer, which is another group of songs the kids really, really love, and for many of the same reasons. I don't necessarily take out the verse where somebody dies, where John Henry gives his life for what he believes in. Because in real life, the hero doesn't always make it, right? In real life, there isn't always a happy ending. And I kind of feel like the sooner we get our heads around that reality, the happier people we're going to be. And it's not like we're fooling the kids by taking that stuff out. Now, within reason, I take out references to sex and to, yay, let's get drunk. There's a lot of that stuff in sea shanties, too. I try not to include stuff that will actually get me fired, as a general rule. But it's true. I mean, how many of you have kids who struggle with substance abuse at home? How many have kids who have lost a loved one? Maybe all of them, right? We're not fooling them by cleaning up these songs. And I kind of like to think, and I know I'm in serious danger of committing psychology here, but I kind of like to think that maybe when we do these songs that are just a little real world and a little messy, I think it kind of provides a catharsis. It provides a way of coping. And I like to think that maybe that kid who deals with an alcoholic parent sings this song, and maybe they realize a few important things. This problem has been around a long time. This problem affects a lot of people. It's not just me. And maybe that kid will feel a little bit less alone when we sing this song. For the rest of us, it's just a fun, goofy song, so let's sing it. We're going to sing, there are a zillion verses to this song, some of which are okay for elementary school. We're going to throw him in the brig till he gets sober, and then we're going to hoist him up to the top of the mainmast, which, if you've ever had the misfortune of being drunk, you can imagine what that would feel like, being upside down, hoisted up by your ankles. Some ships actually would do that. And then we're going to scrape his chest with a hoop iron razor, always a favorite with the kids, and then that'll be about it. So stand up, please, let's sing this. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning. Throw him in the brig! Throw him in the brig till he gets sober. Throw him in the brig till he gets sober. Throw him in the brig till he gets sober. Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning. Hoist him up! Hoist him up to the top of the mainmast. Hoist him up to the top of the mainmast. Hoist him up to the top of the mainmast. Early in the morning, way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning. Scrape his chest with a hook iron razor. Scrape his chest with a hook iron razor. Scrape his chest with a hook iron razor. Early in the morning. Ow! Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning. Lock him in a room with SpongeBob SquarePants. Lock him in a room with SpongeBob SquarePants. Lock him in a room with SpongeBob SquarePants. Early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning. Make him sit through grade level meetings. Make him sit through grade level meetings. Make him sit through grade level meetings. Early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. Early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises. Early in the morning. Very nice. Have a seat. Okay. So you might have noticed I improvised a couple of verses there at the end. Very easy to do if there's something funny or interesting going on in the room or in the school or whatever. We'll just make up a new verse. These songs are designed to be able to do that. Because if I'm the officer leading the chant and the song ends before the job is done, I have to just keep making up new verses. And so they're really, really easy once you get the hang of it. We are going to have a few people get on xylophones if we could. I want to show you something I do with this song. So xylophonists, go ahead and jump on a xylophone. That's a figure of speech. Don't really jump on the xylophone. I have to tell my 5th grade boys that.
That's great. You can utter those words out loud.
I lose control sometimes. Okay, so we're gonna turbo learn this. There's a few more open xylophones up here if somebody else wants to play. The more, the merrier. The rest of you that aren't on xylophones, you're singers, so you're not off the hook. This song only has 2 chords in it, so it could almost be a country song. But so we're going to do open 5th chords. So we're going to do with this hand we're going to hit our big D, and with this hand we're going to hit our A, and we call this chord Da. Everybody give me a Da. Go. Now just that takes about 10 minutes to get across to my 4th graders, but you know. Okay. So we're going to do 4 Da's. Ready? Go. Okay. And then we're going to move down 1 bar to C and G. We call this Kug. Let's play that 4 times. Ready, go. Excellent. Back to Da 4 times. Go. Okay, the ending's a little different. We're going to go Kug, Kug, Da, Da, Da. Go. Oh, you guys are really the advanced class. Okay, let's play. Let's play the whole thing. So 4 daws, 4 cugs, 4 daws, and then the ending. Cug, cug, da, da, da. Ready, go. Back to da. And the ending. Could we all sing Way, Hey, and Up She Rises while they play that, please? 1, 2, 3, hit it. Way, she rises, back to da. Excellent. Okay, that's the level 2 that I used in 4th grade. Level 3 goes like this. We're just going to alternate. D, A, D, A, C, G, C, G, D, A, D, A, C, G, D, D, A. Now, some of you did this. We're going to go D, D, A. Originally, when I taught this to my kids teach me so much. Originally, when I taught this to my kids, at the end I did C, G, D, A. It really bothered them because they want that T-T-ta at the end. So C, G, D, D, A. Okay, have it your way. Let's try that. Everybody sing, we'll play. 1, 2, 3, da. Way, up she rises, way, up she rises, very nice. Okay, so the level 4, we're going to cross over, we're going to play the dad chord. Okay, so we're going to go D, A, D, D, A, D. And then C, G, C, C, G, C. Go ahead and mess with that for a few seconds. Okay, very nice. Good. We're what did you say this morning? Turbo mode. We would take a lot longer than this with kids, obviously. And by the way, these songs, I'm just showing you some possibilities. This is by no means exhausting what you can do with these songs. I just want to give you some ideas that you can take home. Okay, let's do it. Ready? Sing. Way. That was a very good start. Let's try that again. That was my fault. 1, 2, 3, go. Way. She rises, way. She rises, nice. Now, pick which one you want to do, whichever one you sound best on. So who's going to play the 2? Just steady beat. Okay? We kind of want approximately equal numbers of people, so you can pretend that you're not as good at this as you are. Who's going to play the 3? The alternating? Okay? And then where's our overachievers that are going to do the 4? One thing about doing it this way that's really, really, really important that I just want to highlight is the level 2 people, I always tell them, your part's the simplest part, but it's also the most important part because you are laying down the steady beat for everybody. I think it's really important to make give those level 2 kids something that is musically meaningful. You know, the kid who just moved here from a school where they don't have music, or the kid who's a little on the life skills side, or whatever. Give them something that's musically meaningful so they still get to feel important, because that will encourage them to move on to the level 3 and 4. Okay, pick whichever one. We're going to all sing, just sing on the verses, and then we get to the chorus, way, hey, jump in on the xylophone. So here we go. Oh, what shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lie in the morning. Way, up she rises, way, up she rises, way, up she rises, nice. Throw him in the rig till he gets over. Throw him in the rig till he gets over. Throw him in the rig till he gets over. Lie in the morning. Way, up she rises, way, up she rises, way, up she rises, lie in the morning. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. That's what you do with a drunken sailor. Lie in the morning. Arr! Way, up she rises, way, up she rises, way, up she rises, lie in the morning. Very nice. How about a hand for our xylophone? Go back. We're done with xylophones for the moment, I'm afraid. So what did we just do? We just did, besides giving the kids what I hope was a powerful musical experience with an authentic, very, very old song that's part of their culture, even here in Wyoming. We also just did a xylophone assessment. Yay! Because it is very easy for me, either in person, if I've got a class that can keep the steady beat without the guitar, or on video. it takes about 2 minutes for me to go through, see which kid's playing the 2, which kid's playing the 3, which kid's playing the 4. Are they doing it right? Are they singing and playing at the same time? Boom, Insta assessment. So that's kind of a cool thing about that. Also works really well in a concert and doesn't take a huge amount of time to put together. Let's do another Hollyard Shanty. Is that too small? Can you see that? We're really far away, so if you can't see it, you'll just have to learn it the way the sailors did, I guess, and do the best you can. Yeah, let's put the tallest guy in the front row. I always manage to do that. Okay, so this song is called Heave Away, Haul Away. Some versions, some collectors called this song Bound for South Australia. The verses are call and response. So I say, in South Australia I was born, and you all come back, heave away, haul away. And then I sing, in South Australia, round Cape Horn, and then bound for South Australia. And then the chorus we all sing together. If you feel like moving, I won't make you guys do this because some of us are old, but if you feel like moving, it's heave away, haul away. Whenever you say those words, that's when you're going to pull the rope. So let's just give this a try. You feel like standing up? You want to sit down? Okay, stand up. In South Australia I was born. Heave away, haul away. In South Australia, round Cape Horn. Bound for South Australia. All the way you rolling kings. Heave away, haul away. All the way you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia. As I walked out one morning fair. Heave away, haul away. Was there I met Miss Nancy Blair. Bound for South Australia. All the way you rolling kings. Heave away, haul away. All the way you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia. We danced all night and danced all day. Heave away, haul away. We danced until we sailed away. Bound for South Australia. All the way you rolling kings. Heave away, haul away. All the way you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia. And as we wall up round Cape Horn. Heave away, haul away. You'll wish for sure you'd never been born. Bound for South Australia. All the way you rolling kings. Heave away, haul away. All the way you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia. And heave away, haul away. Sometimes Mr. Wilson forgets the words. Bound for South Australia. All the way you rolling kings. Heave away, haul away. All the way you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia. Wish I was on Australia's strand. Heave away, haul away. With a bottle of root beer in my hand. Bound for South Australia. That's root beer, guys. All the way you rolling kings. Heave away, haul away. All the way you'll hear me sing. We're bound for South Australia. Very nice. Okay, have a seat. Now we're going to do something kind of weird here. Shocking. I'm going to have some of you, hopefully all of you, make up a verse to this song. It's really, really easy, and I'm going to teach it to you exactly like I teach it to the kids. Sometimes kids get this stuff faster than grown-ups. First of all, when I turn you loose, you're going to find a partner, preferably somebody you don't know. Okay? You have 5 seconds. Get with a partner. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Everybody got a partner? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put the microphone on because it's going to get loud. Most of you know this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. Finding a partner is a skill, and it's something you have to teach your kids. They don't do this automatically like all of you wonderful people just did. So we work on that in my classes from kindergarten on out. Okay, here's what you're going to do. 3 things. First of all, you need to pick a topic to make your verse about, something that's interesting to you, something that's okay for school. We have a lot of fun discussions in my class about things that are not okay for school. We're all adults here, so we can fudge that a little bit, I suppose. But anyway, find your topic. Second, find something that fits the rhythm of the song. Now, I tell my kids, we don't cogitate this too much. I tell my kids, Writing songs is kind of like playing with Legos. You just take them and you stick stuff together until you find something that works. So somebody give me a topic.
Nachos.
Nachos. Okay, so I could sing, I'll sing the call, you sing the response. Well, I like nachos. Oh, that didn't feel right, did it? That was too short. Or I could say, my favorite kind of nachos are the ones from Maverick with the jalapenos on them. Oh, that was too long, right? But I could say, well, I really love nacho cheese. Oh, that one felt right. Okay, so find one that fits the rhythm and sing a few different ones, figure something out. And then the third thing is rhyme if you can. You don't have to rhyme, but most of the time it's more fun to sing and more fun to listen to if you can rhyme. So, interesting topic, fit the rhythm, rhyme if you can. Okay? I'm going to give you all 1 minute. I give my kids 2 minutes. I'll give you 1 minute. Go. Okay, you ready? It's your turn to sing your verse. Just raise your hand for better or worse. All the way, you rolling canes, sing away, all the way, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia. Now you don't have to share your song, but if you do, just sing it out strong. South Australia, all the way, you rolling canes, sing away, all the way, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia.
Sliding down a snowy hill.
Keep away, all the way.
Hovering over my best friend Bill.
Australia, all the way, rolling kings, keep away, all the way, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia.
I drink coffee every day.
Keep away, all the way.
If I don't, you all will pay.
Australia, all the way, rolling kings, keep away, all the way, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia.
Happy in my shoe last night.
Keep away, all the way.
This morning group was a circle ride.
Rolling kings, keep away, all the way, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia.
We did a scarf for our neck.
Keep away, all the way,
Let me finish this row, will be a sec.
bound for South Australia. All the way, you rolling kings, keep away, all the way, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia.
I don't like riding on slick roads.
Keep away, all the way,
I think I'd rather kiss a toad.
bound for South Australia. All the way, you rolling kings, keep away, all the way, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia.
I'll go fishing after work.
Keep away, all the way,
Deep in the river, the big ones lurk.
bound for South Australia. All the way, you rolling kings, keep away, all the way, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia.
We like to drink libations.
Keep away, all the way,
We'll do it in all nations.
Australia. All the way, you rolling kings, keep away, all the way, you'll hear me sing, we're bound for South Australia. Awesome! Get started! Okay, have a seat. Okay, so moving back into our teacher hats here, let's talk a little bit about what we just did. I'm going to use the microphone so my voice will last for the next couple songs. Let's talk a little bit about what we just accomplished with that. Again, lots of laughter, right? How many of you chose not to share your song, but you still came up with something really good? Yeah, look around. That's cool, right? And sometimes when we do things like this, sometimes I tell the kids, you're going to sing today, it's not your choice. But a lot of times I'll just say, who wants to share their verse? And you know, with kids, most of them do. And the great thing is, there's several great things. First of all, the kids don't realize we just did a singing assessment. They're not thinking about that because they're too busy having fun. It doesn't occur to them to get nervous. They're too busy having fun, you know, singing all these verses they make up like some of you did that are just barely appropriate. Those are the funnest ones, right? Also, they want to sing well because it's theirs, right? Creativity is so important, and that's one of the reasons it's a motivation to sing or play really well. If something's yours, you care about it. You want people to hear you, so you sing out. Oh, we came up with this really funny thing. We want everybody to hear us, so they'll all laugh. Yeah. So, really good way to test singing. And again, doing something like that in a concert, if you're feeling really brave and you have a really fun group of kids, doing something like that in a concert is so much fun. And the parents either love it or they're horrified, depending on your community. And even having kids improvise verses in a concert, it's a little scary, but it works out okay because if they mess up, hey, they're kids, and it's okay, you know. But it's a fun way to teach lots of things, risk-taking, lots of other stuff. So, and that solo duet singing, I make all my kids sing solos in class. I don't make them sing solos in a concert. To me, that's too much if they don't want to. But I do make everybody solo in class. They get over it pretty quickly. We stress a lot, and this is important if you try this. Don't laugh at somebody that makes a mistake. We are all on the same crew here. A lot of times when I do a sea shanty unit, I'll redo the rules of my room to be like, you know, the ship's rules. And one of them is look after your crewmates. We're all on the same side, and we don't laugh at people that make mistakes. We don't laugh at somebody that really goes for it and makes a mistake, because that's when we make, I always tell the kids, if you're gonna make a mistake, make it a big one. Those are some things, if you really get into solo singing, it's so important, because that kid that gets laughed at, how many of you have parents that are like, oh, I can't sing, you don't want me to sing? And it's almost this thing people are false proud of. That's because at some point in their lives, that person got made fun of for singing. Everybody does. It's happened to all of us. If it hasn't, it will. Oh, what are you? You sound, you know, and people believe that because we grew up listening to professional music and we think that's what real singers sound like. Solo singing. It can be fun. It doesn't have to be torture. Is that the word that this actually, I mean, I always tell my kids there's a reason they call it playing an instrument, right? You don't operate an instrument, you play it. It's supposed to be fun. All right, here's another one. This one's called Santiano. I saved my favorite two for last, and I think we're just about ready for time, so this is good. I should take off the microphone before I put the guitar on. Save everybody's eardrums. So we'll do this one. We'll do this one the same way. I'll just start singing. The tune's really simple. Once you figure it out, just jump in with me. A couple of cool things about this song. This one also has only 2 chords. It is incredibly dramatic sounding, so the kids really like it. It's in a minor key, and it sounds really cool. My kids are going to do this in their spring concert, and I cannot wait to hear all 150 kids up on stage bellowing this out. It's going to be so much fun. Another thing about this that's cool that you might notice, any verse you make up for Heave Away Holloway will also work for this song. So you can transfer it. So that's kind of fun. Okay, it goes like this. If you already know it, feel free to jump in. Otherwise, just listen until you do know it and then jump in. From Boston town, we're on our way, Santiano, around Cape Horn to Frisco Bay, and we're bound for California. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go, and we're bound for California. There's plenty of gold, so I've been told. Heave away, Santiano. Plenty of gold, so I've been told, and we're bound for California. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Sing it out strong. Heave her up and away we'll go, and we're bound for California. Well, back in the days of '49, heave away, Santiano. Back in the days we're bound for California. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go. And we're bound for California. And Liverpool girls don't use no combs. Heave away, Santiano. They comb their hair with a fish's backbone. And we're bound for California. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go. And we're bound for California. When I was a young man in me prime, heave away, Santiano. I pulled them halyards 2 at a time, and we're bound for California. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go, and we're bound for California. Arr. So, if you do, that last verse is a good illustration. If you do these songs with your kids, or if you show videos of these songs for your kids, make sure you preview them. Because in the original version of the song, we're not pulling the halyards 2 at a time. It's something involving the ladies on shore 2 at a time. Woo. These were not kids' songs, right? And when we sing these folk songs, that's something very important to realize. These were not songs that were sung by children. These were grown-up songs. There are verses of Sweet Betsy from Pike that will get you fired very quickly if you sing them. So you want to preview this stuff, and occasionally, despite what I said before, it's good to clean it up just a little, if you like keeping your job. Now, do we have recorders? Do any of us have recorders? We have a whole box of recorders. Do you guys want to do some recording?
Yes.
Okay, go grab a recorder. And yes, I still write out my arrangements by hand and then scan them because I am a dinosaur. So if this is a little difficult to read, I'm sorry about that. I think we'll be able to manage. But we have a 2, a 3, and a 4. Again, they all kind of go together. So let's hear the level 2. I think we can probably, most of us, play this with no preparation. If you need to come up closer. If you need to come up closer and sit on the floor or whatever, that's fine. Let's just hear the 2. 1, 2, 3, go. 3, I'm sorry these are so light and difficult to read, but we'll get over it. We are sailors, we adjust. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Now, if you can't see it, that F is in fact an F sharp. That matters. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then lift up your bottom pointer finger. That's the F sharp. Okay, anybody want to try the 4? Can you see the 4? Yeah. Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, so let's about the same way, about equal numbers. I actually like having more people on the two, which is seldom a problem with my fourth graders. They like the two parts. So who's going to play two for us? Okay, and again, this is the simplest part, but probably the most important because you're mostly on the roots of the chord. So we need lots of people on the two. Who's going to do the three? Okay, and then where's our show-offs on the phone? Okay, let's hear it all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. The first time I've ever heard that sound like it sounds in my head. So, let's sing. I don't know. I let the kids kind of arrange this. Yeah. This is in the folder. Yeah. And like I said, I don't really like this because I wish it was more sequential. When a kid decides to go from the 2 to the 3, instead of just adding something, they have to relearn a completely different piece of music, which I don't think is quite kosher. So I'm going to rewrite this before we perform this again. So if you want to take this home and massacre it and send me what you did that's better, that will not hurt my feelings at all. Let's try singing just the first verse, then the chorus, then we'll do an instrument cut, and then the chorus again. Insta concert. Here we go. From Boston town, we're on our way away. Santiano, around Cape Horn to Frisco Bay, and we're bound for California. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go, and we're bound. Okay, recorders. 2, 3, 4. So heave her up and away we'll go. Heave away, Santiano. Heave her up and away we'll go, and we're bound for California. So that's something like that. Yeah. Clap for yourselves. That was awesome. So a couple of, just real quick, we're almost out of time, but just a couple of funny historical things. I don't know how to make my slide go backwards, but a couple of funny historical things about this song. Santiano, of course, refers to General Santa Anna of Mexico, who opposed the United States during, well, it was more we were the aggressors in that war, during the Mexican-American War. And this song was originally written by British sailors, and it was all about, they were still stinging a little bit from the War of 1812, I think, at the time. And so the song originally is all about how Santa Anna whooped up on the United States. And it's like, Santiano gained the day away. And it's all about, well, of course, that's not really what happened historically. So when the American sailors got hold of this, nobody wants to sing about getting whooped, especially when that's not really what happened. So they kept Santiano in there just because it's fun to say, and they turned it into a song about the clipper ships going around to California for the gold rush. So that's why it's called Santiano, but has absolutely nothing to do with Santa Anna. Another thing that comes up a lot in sea shanties is Cape Horn. Cape Horn is the tip of South America, and the oceans between Cape Horn and Antarctica are the most notoriously horrific place to sail, even today, in the world. Because, I meant to put a GIF of this up here so you can see it, but the ocean goes all the way around the world with no major land masses. It's the only place in the world where that happens. And so the storms and the waves that develop are just horrific down there. And so you hear about Cape Horn in a lot of these songs. And for a sailor to sing about sailing around Cape Horn is kind of like a Wyoming guy saying, let her back. You know, it's they're getting psyched up for this really bad thing that they know is coming. So I want to do one more song. I saved my very favorite one for last. This is called Rollin' Home. This is another Capstan Shanty. But it's got a very different mood than most of the other ones. We talked before about the importance of singing real stuff. singing about real things. And I think it's so important, and music is such a big part of teaching our kids how to process and embrace and express deep feelings besides anger and whining and being offended, which a lot of us are good at. That emotional spectrum that is so important for a healthy person to have. This is a song about being homesick. And it's kind of a special song because on a lot of British and American ships, this song was traditionally saved for one very special occasion when they were done with their trading, they were on the last leg of their trip, and it's time to go home. And the closest equivalent I can think of today is our servicemen and women that have been deployed. You know, what it must feel like when your commander comes in and says, hey, pack up your stuff, you're going home. Oh, wonderfulness, right? Because of all the things that home means. And we talk about this in my classes, and the kids get it. They know what homesick means. So let's do this song. Traveling does the same thing to guitars that it does to little kids. It makes them even weirder than usual. So let me fix that real quick. Not that you all can hear my guitar, but it bothers me this week. Okay, sorry to make you sit through that. Let's just give this one a try. We'll do it the same way. I'll start out. The tune to the verses and the chorus is exactly the same. It's really easy to sing. Really beautiful song. Go ahead and throw some harmony in it if you want to, since we know how to do that. I have to teach my kids to do that, but you guys can just do it. So, all